Yeah,
Amazing.
good times.
Mhm.
So this week, y'all, we're going to be talking marketing, and we've put together 5 shifts, hence 5 days of the week,
Oh,
uh, to really help you do marketing right. Because the old way of marketing, which we're going to go into today, does not work at all. And maybe you've experienced that. And we're going to go through what that is, because without marketing, without the ability to create change in the hearts and the minds of your prospect before they get on a call with you, you will not be able to get clients, and you will be broke. Period. I don't care how good your program is. If you can't get clients because your marketing sucks, therefore you will never be able to utilize the program with the people who most need it.
okay. Can
Yeah.
I just hang on, go back and highlight what you just said as a definition for marketing? Because if you didn't write it down, please write it down. The ability to create change in the hearts and the minds of your prospects.
Right.
Guys, if you think about marketing as that, that's a whole different ball game than I guarantee what 90% of you picture as like marketing.
Right. So
So good.
we decided that this week too, we were going to start off with like wins and positivity, because I don't know about you, Laura, or those of you watching, it's getting to the point where it's starting to feel like a rebellion is needed,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Totally. Oh my
like
God, I said that literally
like
yesterday with those words.
like a rebellion.
Yep. Those were the words I used.
A
I'm like,
re-
I'm feeling rebellious.
yeah, a rebellion is coming.
Yes.
So we wanted to just start each morning off with a little bit of positivity and just sharing some of the wins that our clients are having, our community is having. If you want to share your win with us, we would love that.
Yes.
We would absolutely love that. So if you have a win, please share it. Instagram, share it in the comments. Facebook, share it in the comments, because it's so important to recognize progress, because that's all this is. There
Yep.
is no, I've made it. There is no success done, check, over and
Yes.
out. It's everything,
Yes.
everything, everything is just progress. So you had one that you wanted to start with, and we were so proud of her because we know that the last
Yes.
year and a half has been hard.
So this is one of our clients, Katie. And I just want to set the stage a little bit. So Katie had a really successful webinar. Like, I'm going to just make up a date, but it was like March 15th. And y'all know when COVID and all the craziness hit was like directly after. So she had this amazing webinar. Her show up rate was kick ass. She booked 30 sales calls from this webinar. And the next day, the whole
The world shut down.
pandemic was declared. Everything went wrong. People panicked. And so obviously going into those sales calls, she didn't feel good and felt defeated and scared and didn't have a single conversion. And so she struggled with whether to like just give up. It's been a tough year for her personally. She was legit this close to throwing in the towel, as she said. And then on Saturday, she posted on our group, and I can almost cry just telling this story, but she said, in the last 10 days, I've enrolled 3 out of 7 calls, 1 pay in full, my first pay in full ever. This coming week, I already have 5 sales calls booked after a week of minimal content due to an injury flare-up, making me almost immobile. People are coming out of the woodwork seeking help for their health issues. And basically this was a message of hope, right? And she says, now is not the time to shrink ourselves down for fear of people not being able to afford what we know we can help them with. So I hope if you're having the same feelings I did, you stick with it, you use the time, you get out of your comfort zone, and you go help the people who need it.
Yeah. And it's interesting. We're seeing that pattern in a lot of our clients, and even in our own business, where those first 3 weeks of the pandemic, like everything just basically stopped.
Yeah.
And now it's it's coming back. It's coming back to normal. There's clients of ours who've literally hit their sales goals for the month. And
Early.
it's the 20th. And
Yeah.
their sales goals aren't $2,000. Their sales goals are $10,000, $12,000,
Yeah.
$15,000. So, you know, what does this have to do with marketing? Everything. Everything. Because the thing is too, you know, Katie works with people who have acne, right?
Yeah.
And so you could be like, oh, but she probably does something that's like, so no, she works with people who have acne, and they're paying in full, and she's getting clients because, you know, people have more time, they have the ability to do it now, and they are recognizing, as we've been saying for the last I don't know how many weeks, their problems are exacerbated.
Yes.
And you have the ability to urgently stop their pain. And so marketing. So let's go through the 5 shifts. I'm going to go through the 5 shifts, and then we're going to backtrack, and we're going to talk about the old way and why the old way doesn't work, and what a marketing strategy should look like if your goal is to get clients, transform their lives, and make money. I'm assuming that's why you're here. Otherwise, maybe it's to see like Laura. I feel like you have like a headband of the day. Maybe also that's why people are here, is to see your headband. Either way, you're gonna win because she's wearing one, and we're gonna teach you how to get clients and make money. So the 5 shifts that you need, these aren't optional anymore. Like, that's the thing, right? And so we get people that come and they're like, oh, but I have a website. I don't care.
Yes.
With all the respect, like, I don't care, right?
Yes.
We have hundreds of clients behind our belt.
Under our belt.
Under our belt.
Under our belt.
30.
I don't think that sounds good. We don't do that. This is not what we do.
No. Wow, that was a bad one. Under our belt. Mm-hmm. That proves that the things that most people are still doing don't work, right? And so these are the 5 shifts that you need to make. And I also want to say this, none of us sort of came out of our professional training knowing how to do this. None of us, myself included, knew how to market in this way that would create a change in the hearts and the minds of the people you most want to work with. These are learned skills, which means you can learn them. You're not an anomaly. Maybe you think you're a bad writer, or you think this, or you think that. We've all thought that. Those are stories you're telling yourself. Everything that we're going to teach you, I had to learn, Laura had to learn, our clients had to learn in order to have a successful business. So the shifts are, shift number 1, you have to have a strategy. You have to have a strategy that integrates different aspects along the along the prospect to client journey, right? Mm-hmm. You have to have a strategy for attraction and nurture and priming and sales and follow-up. All of that's marketing and sales, right?
Yep.
You have to have a strategy. Having a website is not a strategy. Having social media is not a strategy. These are just things that you have that don't even work, right? Shift number 2, being relevant and intimate, right? Ensuring that your marketing places you as, or positions you as an authority, making you relevant and giving you the ability to create intimacy with the people that you most want to work with, right? Relevancy meaning who you are, who you help, and how you solve their painful, urgent problem, right?
Yep.
Shift number 3, personalize it, right? Do you want to talk about this? Because I feel like you deal with this a lot.
I deal with this so much. We have this tendency coming out as practitioners to position ourselves in this authority frame that has very little connection or personalization, and therefore isn't attractive to your ideal client. So if you think about the people you most want to work with, they want to know that you've been where they are. They want to know that you understand them, that you get them. And they also want to know that you're a real person. People respond to people, right? Like birds of a feather, we say it all the time, flock together. And so if you never let your personality show through, and if you always come at everything from this authority frame, people are intimidated. They don't want to work with you because there's no connection there. They just think you're going to judge them because you're constantly talking about these problems that people have, but you would never have because you're the expert.
Right.
Thinking, and it's almost a defense mechanism. We don't want to seem like we have any problems. We don't want to seem weak. We don't want to seem like we've struggled before. So our clients, when they come in, it's so interesting. We'll always choose to write their Facebook ads or write their nurture content from this position of authority. And every time we take it back down to some personalization and some storytelling and talk about why it actually connects with them and how they've been there and how they get it.
Yeah.
And that's when the people respond.
Shift number 4, stories over information. So this goes back to what Laura just said. When you are talking at people versus personalizing it and trying to create a connection and intimacy, when you are speaking down to your audience because you're the clinician, you're the practitioner, you're the expert, which is true, but there's a way to do it, right? And you're giving them information. Here's what you need to do. And here's the tips. And here's the recipes. And here's the scientific proof. And here's the this. And here's the that. They're not able to take that in because that's not how we process information. They're not in school. They didn't come to you to be schooled, right? They came to you to access, first of all, validation that you understand them, that you get them, that you've walked a mile in their shoes. And then they want to be able to have steps and strategies that they can actually implement. And the best way for us to be able to do that is through story, right? Is by using story and injecting the information that they need to know into the middle of the story so that you have their attention. Because if you don't have their attention, the information isn't going to resonate with them anyway, right? And being able to use stories that describe the benefits versus the features of what you're trying to do is the way to connect. It's the way to build intimacy. It's the way to build trust. And it's the way to get them to a better position to say yes to you when you get to a sales conversation. And the last shift is make it emotional. The fact is that we are emotional beings. We don't make these decisions using our rational brain. Some of the objections you're going to get, like rationally, like, oh, I don't have time, this, that, they're all coming from an emotion. They're all coming from an emotion that is either fear or lack of self-worth or confidence showing up as a rational question or a logical question, but that's not how we make decisions. And that's also not how we build rapport, trust, intimacy, connection. Because if they don't feel any which way towards you, if they don't feel connected to you, if they don't feel inspired by you, empowered by you, motivated by you, guilt by you, triggered by you, either positively or negatively, you are not relevant to them. They're not going to pay attention to you, right? They're going to pay attention to someone else who makes them feel a certain way. And so these are the 5 shifts, and every day we're going to sort of go into detail onto each one of them, because we get people that come to us that say, you know, oh, I have a lead magnet, I have a low barrier offer, I have a website, I have a Facebook group, I have a this, I have a that, and I can't get clients. Yeah, I know. because having those things are just tactics. It's like having those things are like the sprinkles on the icing of the cake, right? It's not, there's no substance there. And the substance is the marketing, it's the messaging, it's the language, it's the stories, it's the emotion that creates a change in the hearts and minds of the people you most want to work with, so that they are in a better feeling position, a better knowledgeable position to say yes to you. These are learned skills, right? So do we want to go through some of the old ways?
Oh yeah, we do.
Of marketing? Because here's the thing, we say this a lot. We have to be able to get you to identify what you're doing and stop what you're doing, so that we can then make the shift and get you to do it in a way that we know with certainty works. Because we don't want you wasting time and energy and money doing these outdated, dumb things that don't work, thinking that if you just put out another blog post, or if you just had another lead magnet, or if you fixed up your website, then that would lead to clients. And we know with so much freaking certainty, you can clearly see how like this riles me up. Please just stop doing the things that don't work.
The problem too with doing the things that don't work is that they take time and they take money. And that time and money is spent going in the opposite direction of where you actually need to go. And what we see hold people back all the time is this resistance to abandoning things they've spent time and money on. So as you spend more time and money on the things we're talking about, you are actually, I don't want to say reducing, but you're reducing your chances of success, because you're going to cling to the things you spend time and money on, even though they don't work.
Because you've spent time and money on them.
That's a problem.
And you feel like you need to see them through and hope that if you just make a tweak, that they will suddenly work, and they don't. And we can say that with certainty because hundreds of practitioners later, it's like, if you could just do what we say, if you could just do what we say, because we have the proof that what we're, the strategies that we're telling you and the things that we're telling you works. So let's go. Old way of marketing. Hit it.
Number 1, the website. Focusing your time and energy and effort, maybe even, I think my favorite example, I'm just going to use an example. One of our past clients who is like killing it now, but he came to us and he had spent $20,000 having somebody design a custom website for him and brought in 0 clients.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like he showed me that it was beautiful. There was 0 marketing strategy behind it. And he thought that that $20,000 would be everything he needed to skyrocket his business.
Yeah.
Because he needed a website.
You know, it's funny when practitioners and coaches come into the 10K success system and work with us, we don't even look at their website. Like, I don't even care if they have one or don't have one. We never talk about it. We don't do anything about it. We don't touch it. We don't fix it. We don't know about it. It's completely irrelevant to us, whether you have one, you don't have one, if it's on Wix or it really makes no difference to us whatsoever, your website, because we have your online business has nothing to do with your website.
I'm laughing because how many people come in and are like, okay, but if you just look at my website, you're like, nope,
I don't care about your website. I don't want to.
Nobody else will.
It doesn't matter. All right. Next, also on the website,
the classic About Me page.
Right.
So we all know what that looks like, right? The About Me page where you list all of your accreditations and where you went to school and all of the things that you're interested in. Mine used to read Bachelor of Science honors, registered holistic nutritionist, digestive intensive course done, and interested in gut health. and the relationship between
Stop,
food.
just actually stop. I don't even, you're making me angry. I don't even want to listen to that anymore. Here's the thing about that, right? Your About Me page isn't actually about you. And because of the lack of skill set around marketing, you just don't know that. And so you make it about you when it's really not even about you. It's about your ideal clients. And so you could use an About Me as a way to position yourself as relevant to your ideal client, build intimacy, build rapport, build trust, get leads, but you don't.
Nope.
And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. This isn't us saying like, oh, you're not good at what you do. Your inability to get clients has nothing to do with how smart or how qualified or how capable you are of actually getting transformation for your clients. They're completely separate. Completely separate. Same thing with the Work With Me page. Ooh. Like, tell me in the comments right now if you have a Work With Me page. Just say yes. And we're not going to bash you, I promise. I just want to know, like, tell me if you're watching live, Instagram, if you're watching, say, yes, I have a Work With Me page. Yes, I have an About Me page. Tell me if you do or you don't. The Work With Me page, how does this is really good, Sharon. Oh my God, you just set me up so hard. Thank you. Oh my God, so good.
Yep.
Okay, this is such, okay.
Are you so excited right now?
So excited.
So excited.
Okay, stay in focus on what you're talking about. Okay, so Work With Me pages. Sharon, I'll get back to you in a second. Work With Me pages. So the Work With Me page is basically you yelling at somebody that doesn't know you, that doesn't trust you, that you haven't demonstrated that you know anything, that you are not a charlatan. Good word. And you're expecting them. This is the expectation. This is the mistaken expectation of a Work With Me page. You expect that because you have a website and an About Me page that has your full resume, that does nothing to connect with anybody, that you then send them to a Work With Me page where you have a paragraph description of a one-off session where you're asking to complete a transaction. You give me money, I give you my time, that they are going to then just buy that because you think that they believe that that is what's going to solve their problem, and none of that is true. None of that is true. So your Work With Me page is actually harming your ability to get clients. It's harming them because all they're seeing is a description which describes the transactional features of what they're going to get for their dollars. And it doesn't do anything to actually describe the benefits and the transformation, the outcome that they're going to get. So basically, they're deciding if their $150 is worth 60 minutes of your time. They're basing their entire decision on whether to work with you on a price point, which makes you a commodity and not a leader and not an expert and not providing any transformational value whatsoever. So having a traditional Work With Me page, I'm not talking about a sales page, I'm talking about a traditional Work With Me page where your one-off sessions are, where your 6-week program is, with that little descriptor, with the button that goes to PayPal, with your, meal plans and your workout videos and your meditation, wherever they can go and complete a transaction. That is harming your ability to get clients, because that is not how you get clients in an online business in the current year that we live in. So that totally just fired me up. Sporadic informational content. And I would also go with like sporadic email newsletters.
Yes.
Right? So your sporadic informational, educational only content. And so That's the old way of doing it because it's devoid of personality, it's devoid of connection, it's devoid of story, it's devoid of the aspects, the strategies that create emotion and change the thoughts and minds of the people that you most want to work with. I'm going to keep saying it because I want you, every single piece of content, does this piece of content create an emotional response? And is this going to, in any way, shape, or form, change the way that they feel about me, working with me, and the results that I can provide? And if the answer is no, then don't post it. But the alternative is you don't know what to post instead. And
Yes.
that's the problem.
Yes.
And that's the problem. You don't know what to write instead of these very educational, professional, clinical sounding, devoid of personality, cold sounding pieces of content. You don't know what to post instead, what to create instead. Having a contact form, old way of marketing, contact form. Do you want to tackle this one?
Oh my God, do I ever want to tackle this one? Nobody wants you to contact them. and I don't,
and they don't want to contact you either.
They don't want to contact you. And so that contact form that you're putting on your website, and again, like, this is with all the love and all the kindness and all the compassion, because we've all been there. We've all done it. I had a contact me form, join my newsletter. I will email you relevant facts about life. Like, again, at the end of the day, this is devoid of emotion. This is devoid of understanding the transformational outcome of what you provide and what working with you looks like. You know, you need to give people a reason to want you to contact them or to want to contact you, right? Which is where a lead magnet comes in, which we can talk about as the next thing. And which is where having a strategy that drives people to actually want to take the next step with you, which would be to contact you and book a call with you. That's where that comes in. But again, by putting that contact form, whether it's for you to contact them or them to contact you, almost guarantees that they will not do it. It takes away the possibility that you will have a conversation with this person, because again, you're stripping all emotion out of it and you are creating this transactional thing where you've already put on your website, your work with me page. They know what it's about. 120 minutes of your time is $187 plus HST. Here's the contact me form. Let's go.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
No. And I mean, listen, legally you have to have one. If you have a website, you legally have to have a way for people to get in touch with you. But that's really all it's there for.
Yes.
Right? That's really all it's there for.
It's not a strategy. It's
No.
not a strategy.
It's not a way to get clients. It's not a way to capture leads. And then the last thing, which we're going to talk about in terms of a strategy, which we will get into more detail a little bit tomorrow, is an incongruent lead magnet. So one of the most frustrating things that we see, and not frustrating on our part, frustrating on the part of the practitioner and the coach, is
yes,
because they don't understand what an online business is and how to create it properly from the start. But they know, that you need a lead magnet to collect leads, because you just know that you do, because you've been listening and paying attention and all of this stuff. You go and you create a lead magnet. And so because you're not doing the business, let's say, setup in the correct order that makes you have a successful online business, because you don't know, and because you're trying to do it on your own, you created a lead magnet. Amazing. Good for you. You took action. That's wonderful. Except that the lead magnet is incongruent or has very little to do with the problem that you solve. And so what the lead magnet then does is it brings in the wrong people into your world. And so you now have people in your world who aren't going to ever work with you because either the lead magnet is too general, it's too vague, or, you know, I keep going back to the example of my friend Sarah Best, who now has a very successful online business, helping women with their emotional issues around food. And I remember years ago when she first started, she had a lead magnet that was about mindful eating because she thought that that would then attract her ideal clients, and it didn't. And so when she then went to put out her program offer, very few people purchased it because they were interested in mindful eating, which is not the same thing as emotional eating. It's not the
So
same
good.
thing. And so maybe you have a lead magnet that either you're scared to promote a lot because you don't want to come across as salesy, or you do promote it and nobody's opting into it, or people are opting into it and you're not able to convert those subscribers into paying clients. And so that is because you don't have that strategy for your marketing, but also because you're grasping at straws when it comes to setting up your online business, and you're looking at what other people are doing and you're trying to put it together on your own, and you don't know or have the actual steps in the correct order that they need to be completed in order to have a business that gets clients and makes you money. And it's just like the way that you would work with your clients. You're like, well, you can't do step 3 before you do step 1 because it won't work then. It's the same thing, right? Yes, go.
I just had a really good analogy for this because we get a lot of people saying, okay, well, you know, I have the lead magnet and I have the program and I have the things and it doesn't work, right? And so you coming to us and saying that is the same as your client coming to you and saying, but I eat breakfast and I eat lunch and I eat dinner. Why aren't I seeing results? Right? It doesn't matter. What matters is what's in the meal. What matters is the strategy that's in all of these pieces that ties your entire business together, right? The pieces themselves are just like the shell of the meal.
Yeah.
And I think that holds a lot of people back.
Yeah. And I just want to comment on the questions that we're getting, like, should I take down my contact form? Should I have a website at all? Just leave it. Like, why are we even giving energy to this at all? Like, this is where, honestly, this is why having a coach and having someone who's gone before you, who knows the steps and who understands what you should be focusing on or not, because now you're going to spend an hour deciding if you should take down your contact form, whereas you could spend that hour creating content that actually works to move your business forward. Right? And so whether you have a contact form or not, whether you have a blog or not, whether you have a website or not, give zero thought to it. Just leave it as is and move on. Right? It doesn't, like, we don't need to fix it. We don't need to ask any questions about it, because whether you have it or not, it doesn't matter, because it's not going to do what you think it's supposed to do for you, which is get you clients and make you money. Yes. So just, if you have it, leave it. If you don't build it. And so that's sort of the way that we think about things. And so often, you know, people will post in our Facebook group in the 10K success system, like, should I do this or that? And we're like, this doesn't matter. Move on.
Doesn't matter.
Stop. Go. Do the things that we tell you. Please just do the things that we tell you to do. And so the reason that we wanted to start with this is because we know that so many people exactly sort of exampled, if that's even a word, by the questions that were being asked, are giving time, energy, and money to things that don't matter at all, that are not going to move the needle for you in the way of getting clients, positioning yourself as relevant, building connection, and getting them to a better place, so that when you have that sales conversation with them, they are now in a position to say yes to you, because your content, Sharon, this is for you, because your resume isn't what demonstrates that you're not a charlatan, because people lie on their resume all the time. It's what demonstrates that you are not a charlatan is your ability ability to create content, whether that's lives, blogs, emails, posts that connect with your ideal client, where you are communicating either verbally or by the written word that you know what their problem is, that you understand why they have it and can explain it to them why they have it, and that you are consistently showing up day after day after day after day after day, giving them quality content that makes them feel something, that validates their lived experience through story, and demonstrates that you have the ability to solve their painful, urgent problem. That's what makes you not a charlatan. You can clearly see that we know what we're talking about because every single day we show up here and we teach you things. That makes us not charlatans. Who cares? I don't have any on paper business anything other than the fact that I've grown a multi-million-dollar business in 5 years from my dining room table. Like, I have my P&L statements as my, I'm not a charlatan.
Yep.
Right? But like,
Yep.
other than that, I have no business education. Like, I didn't go to school for business. I was talking to somebody the other day and I literally couldn't even remember the name of my degree. Like, I couldn't even remember what I got my degree in. I couldn't even remember.
Yep.
Oh, I was talking to Molly from Girls Gone Strong, and she's like, "So what was like? What like you know? What did you go to university for?" I'm like, honestly,
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even remember,
That's
and
the
it was
best.
actually applied human sciences. It took a while for it to come back, but I literally couldn't remember, because the fact that you and you guys know this to be true, the fact that you have certifications and letters after your name doesn't mean anything when it comes to being able to transfer the knowledge into a usable way. Just because you
Yes.
have letters after your name doesn't mean anything, right?
Yep.
And so how you demonstrate and prove that you are not a charlatan isn't by your resume, isn't by more certifications or more this or more that, or having a work with me
Yes.
page or an about me page. It's by showing up day in and day out over time and connecting and teaching and being relevant and sharing stories and building community and doing
Yes.
all of the things that we keep telling you to do. That, in the eyes, those things in the eyes of your prospects, makes you an asset, positions you as an expert, positions you as a leader. You can't position yourself that way. They have to grant you the title of, oh, she's an expert, oh, she's a leader, oh, she knows what she's talking about. And the only way that they can do that is by your marketing. That's it. It's not by your work with me page. It's not by your about me page. It's by your marketing and the ability to market in a way that shifts the heart and the minds of your ideal client and gets them to a better place, thinking, feeling, so that they can say yes to you when you then move them into a sales conversation. And so your marketing does that. Your marketing demonstrates that you are not a charlatan, right?
Yep.
And your marketing gets them over their objections. Your marketing does that, nothing else. And so what we've done in the 10K success system, because we know that marketing and learning these skills and making this shift from the old way to the new way is very challenging for practitioners and coaches, because this is not the way that any of us were taught. We do the marketing for you, literally. We do it for you. And that's a huge value add to working with us.
Yeah.
Every single piece of marketing that you need to put out to attract, nurture, prime, and get clients, we already have for you. We have every script, every email template, even your webinar is completely scripted and templated by us. You can't mess it up. Literally, you can't mess it up. So if you want us to do the marketing for you while you build the business, while you create the program, while you get used to the new way of running your business, please book a call with us. Book a call, see if you even qualify. You can go to thewbh.com/fast track if you want access to our system and the ability to have us do the marketing for you, to have access to your lead magnet template, your thank you page template, your email, your nurture email templates, your
Facebook ad,
your Facebook ad template, all of the templates that you need along the strategic phase, which we will talk about tomorrow, you will have when you invest in your business, so that we can do the marketing for you, so that you don't mess it up. Until you learn how to do it yourself, until you learn how to write in the way that is needed, until you learn how to show up in a way that works to get you clients, to build rapport, to position yourself in their eyes as an expert and relevant. The best way we know how to get you from the old way to the new way is by giving you all of the templates, all of the scripts, everything that you need so that you can learn by example. And so if that's something that is of interest to you, please go and book a call, thewbh.com/fast track, and see if you qualify to work with us inside of the 10K success system. This is for people, practitioners and coaches who are committed and serious about building an online business that transforms clients' lives and makes you legitimate money. This isn't for hobbyists. This isn't for anybody who, is kind of in, kind of out.
Yep.
This is for you if you're serious. If you're like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with trying. I'm done with all of these things. I'm ready to invest. Thanks. Trisha's like, 10K has been my freaking lifeboat since the world turned upside down, and now it's more relevant than ever. It's true, right? Mm-hmm. And so marketing gives you the ability to take a complete stranger and turn them into not only a raving fan, so to speak, but a paying client.
Yes. Yes.
And so good. If you would like us to help you with your marketing and basically do it for you, go ahead, book the call, thewbh.com/fast track. And let's chat about it. Let's chat about how we can help you. So tomorrow we're going to go through the actual strategy that we want you to use. So we're done with the old way. Now we're going to give you the strategy. So make sure that you join us tomorrow. Anything else you want to add?
I think that is it. Tune in tomorrow and come with a win. We want to hear
yes,
it. First
come
thing.
With a win. That is your
come
homework.
With a win.
Think of one thing that you are proud of yourself. Loud and proud.
We want to hear it.
Tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.